While the storm clouds gather, right there, right? Far across the sea.
Mom was a very, 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 very special person. Not many people that I know could walk in a room and the whole room just stop.
As we raise our voices, raise our voices.
The most precious moment in my life when I had my daughter. That's all I ever wanted was a daughter. I had two wonderful boys and I loved them dearly, but all I ever wanted was a daughter. I was very proud of her, very proud of her.
I say, God bless America.
The stage is one of the places that Whitney felt happiest. She's my dear sister, you know, who I love and respect and I appreciate, you know, and I miss.
We had a sisterhood that was very, very special. It was a great honor to be a part of such a special woman's life.
So they can be free, like me.
She was our guardian angel. She was us. And when she passed away, it was a big impact. I kept moving forward because I knew she was still with us. I knew she was still here and she was in a better place.
I would tell her, you better not miss that note when you get on that stage, or you're gonna get boo-hooed. And she would be like, no, they ain't gonna boo-hoo me. You know, I'm Whitney Houston. I said, okay.
We were living in Newark and the riots, you know, were going on. My mother always wanted to move into a place where she, you know, felt safe.
I was awfully, awfully frightened for my children. At night, you could hear the National Guard shooting or shooting at, you know, whatnot, and it was not pleasant at all.
She finally found a house. We moved up here, and it was all white neighborhood. It was different for us from where we came from in Newark. We were the first black family up here. I remember the first incident. We were standing in front of the house, and some white guy walked by, and he said something to my little sister. It was a kind of a racist kind of thing. And my father came outside and grabbed him by his neck, you know, and kind of lifted him off the ground. Ever since that, you know, we had no problem, no trouble.
I was playing with a hanger on my tongue, doing like this, and in my mouth. My brother comes, he wrestles with me and hits it, and it went all the way back, and I yanked it out.
Oh.
You should have been there. You should have been there. My father was the only one home. My mother was here working with Elvis, actually. And my father just stuffed tissue in my mouth and kept stuffing tissue in my mouth and rushed me to the hospital, and they stitched me from the back of my cords, almost. It was like an inch away from my cords.
Wow.
Yeah, and I got stitches on the roof of my mouth, but my father said, don't tell your mother. Don't tell your mother. So I'm going, all right, Daddy. All right. She says, now when you get on the phone, try to talk normal. I got tissue in my mouth. Oh, well, how you doing? She says, put your father on the phone.
I knew she was an actress all the time. She acted since she was 5 years old. Yeah, she was very wonderful.
A lot of good memories, a lot of good things have happened that I can remember happened just like yesterday. But that's my room. I used to stay down there in that room right there. They took the pool up. Wow. Pool is gone. We just spent a lot of time as brothers and sisters swimming a lot in the pool. They were great swimmers. Whitney loved it by the pool. Even when we had hotels or anything, she would always be around water, and that has a lot to do with growing up with a swimming pool. Whitney's room was right there. Yeah, that's the kitchen. People be talking to us out the windows. Hey, can I come over and swim, you know? We lived here 30, 35 years. And this gate is still the same gate. Same gate. We always walked to school and walked home from school.
How far we go back, Gary?
Oh, man. Ever since I can remember.
I came from East Orange, from Norwalk, Connecticut in 1969.
Yeah, so
you remember that?
That's when we moved up here.
I'm proud of all my youngsters.
Exactly.
But especially you. You could always act, sing, or what have you. And I always told them that I thought you would be the singer, not Whitney.
Exactly.
You had a beautiful voice.
Exactly.
And then later on, she became the big star, and you were the backup singer.
Backup singer.
And you might have forgotten, there was a time when your father came in reference to Whitney and said, well, I wanted to have a good education here. I want nobody to be bothering with her. And he indicated that she has two big brothers that can help take care of her.
That's right. They used to chase her home from school a lot because whatever it was, you know, whether they didn't like her or jealousy or whether they didn't know her, whatever the case was. Because she was a very cute girl. My brother, you know, got tired of that, and he just used to wait for him. So my brother was out in the backyard, you know, fighting him, and he found out it was a girl he was beating up, you know, because she was chasing my sister home. My mother decided to put Whitney in Mount St. Dominic's because she figured that Whitney would feel much more secure and safe at an all-girls school. She was very easygoing, very mild-mannered, so it was just fun for her to transition from public school to private school.
Her brothers meant a great deal to them, both of them. Gary was like 6 years older than Nippy and 4 years older than Michael. He was on his way doing basketball and baseball, and he was an All-American.
I wasn't really motivated to sing, even though I had a gift to sing. I played basketball. Tell my mother I'm going, I'd be going all day long, you know, and she knew where I was right here at the park. I stopped playing ball, even though I went to the NBA. I had a 3-year contract and I got traded and I didn't really want to play anymore. I was very despondent, it wasn't what it was cracking up to be. I started singing for my sister and doing duets with her, working on her albums and doing that kind of thing for her.
She really depended on Gary. She would always get very angry with him because he was very stern. Icon to the world, but little sister to Gary. He just wasn't having it, you know, and she knew that. She knew she had to walk a certain way around Gary. She couldn't just say anything she wanted to say. If she came to him with something, he was going to give her truth straight up. She loved that about him.
Just glad to be here tonight, and this is definitely in honor of my sister in the passing, and we miss you very much, and I'm sure we all feel the same way. Music is music, you know. If you're singing it from the heart and you're singing something that you mean, that means something to you, it doesn't matter. It's all God, as far as I'm concerned. Let the church say amen. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You gotta believe in your heart, yeah. Let the church say
most people probably wouldn't understand how a woman can teach a young boy to become a young man.
Whoever she meets, she imprints something on them, and it's something that people will never forget.
To my surprise, Kevin Costner was there, and he introduced me to Kevin. He said, "This is a real bodyguard."
I guess about 13 or 14, I decided that I wanted to professionally sing. And my mom took me by the hand, and we went to the studio, and I learned my chops there. And then on the weekends, you know, I would sing in the nightclub with my mother.
A lot of people were coming to noticing she had a talent. She was spending time with my mother singing in church and going to different clubs.
I've worked with my niece, Dionne Warwick. I've worked with Aretha Franklin, Elvis Presley. I've worked with Paul Simon. I can't remember all of the names I've worked with, I tell you. Done exactly what I wanted to do. I love doing it, and it's been very successful for me.
She's not a woman who forces you to do anything or tells you what to do. It's kind of like when she sees little things, she'll indicate, you know, that this is this, and I always ask her for advice.
You don't hit the right note, if you're not singing the right thing, she just tell you, go sit down, you go somewhere. I mean, no matter who was around, you know, until you're ready, you know, just go and sit down or just not participate. But she knew we had what it took, so she stayed on us and really kind of forced us and pushed us to rise to the occasion.
I was very hard on her. Her and anybody else I taught. If you want to learn, that's the way it is.
I remember sitting in front of this house right here in Dodge Street in my mother's car, and I sat there and listened to it. The whole album, I named 8, 9 hits. As time went on, the 8 or 9 hits were there. So she trusted in me and she believed in me. She had confidence in me that I would tell her the truth about how this thing was going to turn out.
I know it's been some time, but there's something on my mind. You see, I haven't been the same since that cold November day.
It all has to come from your heart. That's what I'm saying when you say sing from your heart, talk from your heart. You know, talk from what you really feel inside you. If you don't feel it, how can you make anybody else feel and know what you're doing?
Look into your eyes, and now I know.
I think that if I'd had a mother who was my mother and not an entertainer, I don't think that I would be what I am today. I don't. I think I'm from her, and the reason why I'm a singer is because of her.
I was hoping to be that kind of mom, to inspire her, and to her inspire other people her age and all that kind of business, you know what I'm saying? I do. That's what I'm here for. I think that's my way. That's what God made me and left me here for.
Go back to the top.
I was just born into a musical family. My sisters and brothers, you know, that's what we did. We sang. We sang in church. We didn't have a lot of time. We played outside, but at a certain time, you had to come inside and rehearse. And that's what we did. I try to train people to sing out their feelings in their own way.
I'm no shoe.
I joined that church in 1954. I worked 60 years there, teaching the choirs, all choirs, and all of that. And I just had a wonderful time.
I recall singing in church when I was about maybe 11 or 12, and I sang a song called Guide Me, O Thou Great Jehovah. And I remember closing my eyes. I remember just singing this song. And when I opened my eyes, the church was filled with such a praise, and they were just making a joyful noise unto God. It was like, I said, yeah, I can do this. I know it. I know that this is what I'm commissioned to do. Wherever he takes me, I know I'll take him with me.
Whether it was gospel, whether it was secular, whether it was pop, whether it was rhythm blues, whether it was jazz, it doesn't matter. The way she sang, you know, no matter what she sang, when it came to music, it penetrated, you know, and it affected people.
People have to understand what you're singing and to enjoy it. It's always wonderful for me to sing. Wherever I sing from my heart, and I sing to my maker. I love him very much, and I just like for everybody to know that. You have to have a relationship with God, and I do have that. Sometimes it takes you a long time to get that, because people don't understand. They figure he's something that's unreachable or unseeable and all of that, but he's not. He's something that you feel inside of you. That's the faith that you have.
I am close with my mother, and there are moments when I call my mother on the phone, and like I don't want to really tell her, but she already knows something's wrong. You know, she already knows something's wrong with me. As a matter of fact, I don't even have to call my mother. If something happens with me, she'll call me. She'll say, "Okay, I dreamed about you last night. What's going on?" That's a connection. That's a mother. That's an umbilical cord. You can't cut that.
Start clapping and make some noise for Whitney Houston's mom, Dr. Sissy Houston. I don't have to worry, and I am not afraid. Joy comes in the morning. Troubles don't last away.
They sing so much alike with that high octave that they have.
When I first saw you, I said, oh my, I said, oh my, there's my dream.
We all know it's a gift from God, but she acquired that through her mother, listened to her mother sing, and it just like, you know, went over to her, you know, and it just blossomed up.
But ma, you said I am special. You said I've got to prove I am just as good. I am even better than. That's what you said.
That's what you said.
Shine as a star.
Shine as a star.
I'm gonna shine.
I'm gonna shine.
I'm gonna shine.
No life is the same. Nobody travels the same road. The road changes each year. Every era comes by, there's change.
She tried to move in at one point, and she and Gary would just go back and forth, and she'd tell me, Pat, make Gary leave me alone. I can stay here if I want to. He lets everybody else stay here. Why can't I?
Pat is very strong. She's one of the wisest people I know. What Mom loved most about her was how much of a strong African-American woman she is. She's been there for me since I was born.
Gary and I met a little over 20 years ago in New York City. I was director of a modeling and management company in New York. Gary and I became friends, and I was invited to perform at Chez Maxime's, and I decided to call Gary to see if he wanted to perform with me there. He traveled a lot because he was on tour with his sister.
Dreams of our own.
I was in the middle of divorce at the time, so she was there for me. And she took my mind off of that. We were friends. We were just friends.
I knew Gary before I ever met him. I just knew him as an athlete. So a friend of mine, we went to New York just to watch the performance, and I was like, yeah. I told my partner, I said, I don't know about this dude. You know, he looked like he got some eyes, you know.
When we performed at Maxime's, Gary's mother brought over a whole busload of people from New Jersey. His cousin Dion came. That was the first time I'd met his mother.
And when I met Pat, I had a good feeling, a very, very good feeling about her. And she proved to be such a wonderful person, wonderful wife. And she helped Gary be the man that he's become.
The very first time I met Whitney was at her house. She had her situation and I had mine. You know, we were really into our mates. It was Bobbyitis for sure with her, and I certainly had Garyitis. We have this saying about scripture, Psalms 23, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Gary's thing was, the Lord is my shepherd, and I see what I want. So we married in 1994. We had our baby in 1997. And by 1999, they were on a world tour. On that tour, it was all about You know, little Rhea, she loved that baby.
I do remember I was on stage with her and she was just singing and I was just in her arms, on her hip.
Whitney really was her only aunt, and she took that very, very serious. Rhea was Whitney's little princess. Every birthday party, Whitney was here to support Rhea.
We are just alike in that we dance to any music and just do the same dance moves, and we don't even come up with a routine, it just happens. You know, just normal dance moves.
My sisters used to always ask me about Pat in terms of working for her. Whitney came to herself, I guess, and asked her, so she accepted. That relationship just clicked.
Around 2000, 2001, she said, it's going to be me and you. I said, wow, sister-in-law, manager, 24-hour, working, got a baby, got a husband. Do you really want to do this, Pat? And we rolled with it, you know, and we became such strong sisterhood.
They were like two peas in a pod. You know, Pat was, she was more than just her sister-in-law. She was, you know, and more than just a manager. They were like, we're very, very tight.
She liked for things to, you know, run very smoothly. And I always tell her, you can create a lot of drama and havoc around here. She said, but you keep it really calm and you put everything in perspective and you keep order, you know. That's what keeps me calm.
What Mom loved most about her was how loyal she was to my mother, how loyal she was to our family.
Managing Whitney for the last 13 years, I'm not gonna say it's been easy. I said, I do everything for you except for go on stage and sing. That I can't do.
Pat loved Whitney. I mean, sometimes it was almost like, you know, she was everything to her. She was like, you know, I'm the bodyguard, I'm the manager, I'm everything. You don't, you know, you know.
My aunt actually looks up to my mom. She really does. She loves her very much. My aunt just follows in her footsteps. She wants to be like my mom. It's really cute, actually.
When we were recording the album, Just Whitney, Whitney started spending a lot of time in Georgia. She asked, I'm gonna be down here. This is where Bobby wants to be. So let's just find houses here. That's how we got here. We always have music in our home. Love being in here. Whitney would always say, I'm responsible, you know, for this room. These are all my colors. You know, I'm the reason for the season. It was my idea. She made such a fuss. But I put her picture up on the wall, put her picture on the table, and I made this her room. But I always used to tell her, this is my house, girl. Now we are coming down to what I call Whitney's favorite room. And if you come through here, the billiard room, it's all about Gary, it's all about Whitney. Of course, Whitney performing to the troops. She tried to move in at one point, and she and Gary would just go back and forth, and she'd tell me, Pat, make Gary leave me alone. I can stay here if I want to. He lets everybody else stay here. Why can't I? You know, she really wanted to be a mentor. She loved, you know, teaching and helping others to help themselves. I decided to start a program in Shelby, North Carolina called Teen Summit. Whitney started it with me. That's where her heart has been. Its motto is to rebuild, restore, and repair the lives of underserved youth. She was very good at inspiring people to step up.
You have to understand her, she would never turn children down. If children needed an autograph or if they needed a picture, that was gonna happen. You bring that kid to me, you know, so we learn real quick. You know, the kids go first.
Whitney's vocals was something very, very special. She loved her craft, and she knew that it was a gift, a God-given gift.
That was one of the luxury of my job. I could hear her sing. I could hear her sing in the raw, you know. I could hear when she would miss a note and mess it up.
Uncle Ray is my uncle, and he bodyguard for my mom for years and years. He acts like as a father figure, and he's one of the coolest mother effers you will ever meet in your life.
Oh, yes, yes. I've been heckled for the bodyguard. If they would say, the bodyguard, Kevin Costner. And I would say, yeah, that's me, Kevin Costner. I just took a nice tan, you know, that's me. Whitney would laugh. I was a supervisor for a nuclear processing center for nuclear waste. My sister was married to Gary Huston, and that's how I got into the mix with them.
Whitney loved hanging out with my brothers, and she heard one of the stories about my brother Ray.
My brother got into a small scrap, you know, and I happened to be there, and so I had to intervene.
He shut it down, you know, by himself.
It was like 5 of them and 1 of me, and so I didn't like back down.
When she heard that story, you know, she's like, wow, you know, big brother Ray.
I think she had found out that I wasn't working at that time, so she came to me and she said, I want you to work for me. So I was like, you want me to do what? She said, I said, you're doing what? She said, my bodyguard. I always thought bodyguards had to be like humongous. I was all right, about 255, so, you know, being our bodyguard that never crossed my mind.
Our team isn't only made up of people, you know, we just picked out from places. These are people that we feel that are like family to us.
You going to a track?
I'll go tomorrow. People see him as a bodyguard, but my aunt sees him as a big brother. Whenever she needs something, like they'd be next to each other in rooms, and she'd just go to the door and be like, Ray! And, you know, he'd always come to her and be like, what's up, Nippy? Or like, what do you want? And, you know, they're just best friends, and that's his little sister and big brother. They got each other's backs.
That was one of the luxury of my jobs. I could hear her sing. I could hear her sing in the raw, you know. I could hear when she would miss a note and mess it up, and she'd laugh about it, you know.
Holy Spirit, help me to walk right, talk right, live right.
Very few people can sing at that level, that high. If I could get up there and sing up there instead of just hollering to get to that point, you know. But she gets up there, she can sing up there. The fans would, like, watch her, and we'd watch them and see their expression on their faces. The one thing she used to say was, why is he looking at me like that? And I would say, you're Whitney Hьюстон. Do you know who you are? So she would bust us still like, I am, ain't I? I said, yes, you are.
The Man in the Mirror. She's trying to learn the lyrics to that so she could sing it, you know, for Michael. And so I'm sitting here, and it's late at night. We're in, I think, Russia, and she's laying in the bed, half asleep, and she's saying the wrong words. I'm like, no, that's wrong. The show is tomorrow. Do you know how many hours you have? She had everyone come in the room, and she's like, look how she teaches me to learn my words. Watch. And it was a great moment. It was a great moment to share with her. She did amazing. She did. She had the words right on cue, and I was like, yep, thank me for that.
My aunt is very fun. Like, she's the most fun person you can know. She loves playing pranks on people, making people laugh. She hates seeing people get hurt. When we're traveling, we're in a hotel room, and I just go to her room, we lay in the bed, order room service, and watch either scary movies, romantic movies. It was amazing. I just enjoy being with her.
I was off for the weekend, and so she says, where you going? I said, to Vegas, to the All-Star game. I want to go. I said, I said, I'm not working. So she was telling me, you don't have to work. I said, nah. So anyway, you know, she ended up going. And the whole way there, she heckled me the whole way there. feet on the back of the chair. She got in the back, wouldn't drive. She said she was going to help me drive, but she changed her mind. So, you know, we had a lot of conversation. You know, we had fun, stopping and eating. She was throwing the stuff all over the car. After that, I enjoyed taking her because, you know, she had a lot of fun once we got there.
Whitney had her brother Gary with her all the time, and I had my brother Ray with me all the time. And we used to always tease. You know, she said, we're their boss, and they can't tell us what to do. I said, you really like that, don't you? She's like, yeah.
We were in Phoenix. Whitney was one of the presenters in something dealing with Muhammad Ali. To my surprise, Kevin Costner was there. And he introduced me to Kevin. He said, this is the real bodyguard. You know, so it was like, when I was looking at him, I said, this guy could be a real bodyguard, for real. That was probably one of the most exciting things with that job, was to meet Muhammad Ali and Kevin Costner at the same time. And Whitney was on the sideline looking at me and said, did you like that? You know, he said, that was special, wasn't it? I said, yes, it was. I said, thank you. She said, don't thank me, I didn't do nothing. I said, you did more than you do more than you think you do.
I became a part of the Hьюstон family, I would say, about 8 years ago. I was going to join the Marines, and I was very good friends with Chrissy, and she didn't want that to happen, and neither did Whitney. She said, I don't want you to do that. I want you to come stay with me and Chrissy for a while, see how you like it.
My aunt to Nick is Mom. Like, he was always around, so, you know, he got used to calling her Mom.
She was a person that came into his life when he needed someone. He needed mentoring. He needed a family situation. And she brought that to him with much more.
When she talked to me about him, you know, she asked me to do a little research on him. Seemed like a nice enough kid. She liked people that she could trust and be close to her to be in the home. Because I didn't stay in the house with her and Chrissy. It gave them a little extra protection.
Most people probably wouldn't understand how a woman can teach a young boy to become a young man, and she did that. She taught me, you know, respect, loyalty, honesty, trust, all that stuff. You know, she was the best at that.
She would always tell me to listen to your mother. Don't do anything that your mother does not want you to do. Don't follow, like, cliques and stuff, and be a leader, not a follower. All I know is that she loved me, and that she loved spending time with me.
Whitney to Nick is a mother figure, a father figure, a mentor. Yeah.
It's hard coping without her. You be around a person every day for the last 10 years, 11 years, and then they're gone. But I was taught to believe in God and believe in His Spirit, spirit of love, spirit of understanding. So even though she's gone, I still feel her spirit every day.
If she was here now, all the things that are happening now in her death, she would say, this is all for me?
If tomorrow is judgment day, and I'm standing on the front.
Once you met Mom, it was like your whole perspective on everything changed. Like, she could make you believe that there was a purple elephant, I swear, but everything that she said was true. Whoever she meets, she imprints something on them, and it's something that people will never forget. She's very silly and very, very down to earth and outgoing. She could snap in a diva mode like that, but she was super, super down to earth and a very great mother. She'd say the most random things, and we'd just be like, what? What are you talking about? And it's just because she was just being silly. I wanted to see her happy and laughing and, You know, so that's why I did make her, you know, laugh and happy, and so did Nick. We both did. We always tried our hardest to make her happy. She was a mother, a father, you know, a best friend, a doctor. If you need anything, you know, she took care of us. And that's just what kind of person she was. She's just a fallen angel, pretty much.
My cousin, Barbara Christina, to my aunt, is a daughter, a best friend. My aunt was like her mentor and her idol.
She gave me a lot of advice to be the greatest young woman that I could possibly be. Always to stay strong and to always be true to yourself, to always love God, to praise God, to know Him first, beforehand.
Bobby Christina to Whitney, the love of her life. Just simply the love of her life. Christina had to share her mother with everyone. And when I look at her today, at 19 years old, and I know that all that she has gone through and that she has had to endure, it's enough just being a teenager. No matter what Chrissy may say about them being buddies and friends, Whitney was definitely her mother. Oh, yeah.
Chrissy was her heart. She loved Chrissy. Tried to do the right thing by Chrissy. Chrissy, it's all right. She's hard-headed, too.
One night we had a huge argument before one of her concerts, and we were just mad at each other. We wouldn't talk to each other or anything. And, you know, she sang, you know, she was singing I Look to You and whatnot, and she looked over at me, and of course I'm in front of the stage, you know, and I have a security guard in front of me, and, you know, my friend was next to me and whatnot, and, you know, I'm looking up at her, and, you know, she's looking at me, and all we could do was just, tears started rolling down my eyes, you know, and I'm like smiling at her, and she's smiling at me, you know, and she puts the mic down, like on the floor, and she gets down on her knees, and she just hugs me, you know, and it was like no matter what we went through, we got through it. Yeah, we got through it very well.
Where's my little girl? Where are you, Bobby Christina? She's hiding from me. She's hiding. She's hiding. Are you hiding from Mommy? Oh, come here, let me just hold you for a second.
She always told me I was the light of her life and the reason why she's doing what she's doing, and, you know, the reason why she keeps going on with her career and why she keeps going. And she always says, because of you, you know, I'm doing this for you. And, you know, that put a smile on my face, you know, to know that someone loved me that much, that everything that they did was for me. Jeez. When it's a sad day for him, you know, I'll make mine a happy day so I can make his day brighter, you know, and when he's sad, he makes a happy day so he can make my day brighter, you know, like, we feed off of each other.
We can lean on each other.
Yeah.
When, you know, it's late at night and you think about Mom, and, you know, I can talk to Chrissy about it.
It's still a fresh cut wound, you know, a fresh wound, you know, that is gonna take a lot of time to heal, you know, and that part that, you know, she took of me with her will always be with her, you know, so she'll always have that part of me with her forever, as well as Nick.
It's a loss for everyone, not just me. I can't even hardly imagine her fans, you know, to think of her loss.
Oh, you're so beautiful. Can I have a kiss? You want to kiss me? Give me a hug and a big kiss.
Family is what I'm about. Family always comes first with me. We got all our family together in the studio, and we decided, let's all do this. Let's be a family, and let's show them that we're a family. We were all in there, we laughed, you know, we made jokes, we had a good time, and we sang, and it was just like a regular day, but we're in a studio. It was so much fun.
I'll never forget her. Never. Till the day I die. The good times, the bad times, everything. It was all great.
Well, it's a very difficult time for me, and I'm really still grieving, and, you know, it's very, very difficult for me to do anything. Of course, I miss my dad. It's just been like almost 6 months now, yeah.
In terms of all the things that have happened from then until now, we see Nippy has turned into Whitney Houston, so I'm glad that angel of a voice and angel of a person that she wasn't just pushed aside.
I still feel her everywhere. She's still around me. And that's what keeps me comfortable, is that knowing that my best friend, you know, my everything is still with me. That's what keeps me comfortable and steady. That's a little bit, you know, of what my mother and I had. You know, that's the bond that we share, and we did share. You know, we still share that bond, no matter what, even after death.
If she was here now, all the things that are happening now in her death, she would say, this is all for me? I can't believe this is happening. The effect that she had on the world, she would still be asking, wow,